This is my backyard in Wisconsin on a beautiful fall day. And at the moment, I am out there making hydrogen water. And today we're going to talk about healing your gut with hydrogen water. And many of you probably are asking, what is hydrogen water? I thought hydrogen was already in water. Indeed, you're correct, but there's a lot more to it than that. This is a hydrogen water bottle. It's putting dissolving H2 right into the water. And just as a quick side note, don't just, if you're interested in this at all by the end of the video, don't just go to Amazon and get some random hydrogen water bottle. Make sure it follows the IHSA. There's actually a governing body in regard to hydrogen water bottles and makers. So that's really important. So let's talk about what is hydrogen water. Here's a summary of it. Free radicals, probably familiar with those, are oxygen-rich molecules that cause mild to severe cellular damage in the body. This leads to systemic inflammation, which causes or worsens virtually every known disease. Think about what oxygen does to metal. Over time, it rusts the metal and ruins it. The same is true for an oxygenated free radical, which is often termed ROS, or reactive oxygen species. So I like to think of free radicals as literally rusting away your body. Now, the good thing is, unlike cars, you can only do a preventative, for the most part, a preventative rust proofing. With hydrogen water, it not only is preventative, eliminating these rust producing harmful reactive oxygen species, but it also is healing as well. After anytime you take it, it's going to be beneficial. The hydroxyl radical is everywhere in your body all the time and is unanimously considered, if you look this up, it's considered to be the most damaging of all free radicals or reactive oxygen species. And then the hydrogen gas that's dissolved in the water becomes a selective antioxidant. Of course, the term antioxidant, if these are reactive oxygen species, you want something that's going to work against that oxygen species. And hydrogen water is a selective antioxidant specifically for this hydroxyl radical, which, by the way, is a byproduct of ATP production in the mitochondria. So, like a lot of things in the body, some OH is actually beneficial, but too much is what causes the harm. So hydrogen gas is not an antioxidant for any other free radical. It only selects the hydroxyl molecule, thereby reducing harmful effect. It also turns the hydroxyl radical into beneficial H2O. Hydrogen is by far the smallest atom, which enables it to penetrate into any and every tissue in the body, including inside the cell, the nucleus, the mitochondria, that can clean up those damaging OH molecules. It is, in that sense, literally unstoppable. There's nothing, no tissue anywhere in the body that can stop being penetrated by hydrogen. And of course, it's dose dependent. The more hydrogen water you drink, the greater the effect of eliminating the OH molecule and thereby reducing inflammation. And you might think this is brand new, you've never heard of it, but it's been around for actually over 100 years, but in the last, fairly well known in the last 30 years, but in the last 10 years, even more so. And if you would go to hydrogenstudies.com, great website page down there. You see all the studies by year, and you see they're increasing. 2024 is not updated. You also see the top study test subjects and the countries that these studies were performed in. So lots of ways to search here, but just hit any of the search buttons. You can limit it to just human studies, for example. You can type in anything you want. I put in cancer, and all these links come up, but you can put in any disease, any organ. And of course, it makes sense that if this hydrogen gas can penetrate into any tissue, then any disease state, any level of inflammation can be benefited or eliminated by the hydrogen gas. So it's not surprising that this would also be beneficial to the gut. But here's the interesting thing I noticed. I take HMO twice a day, 2 scoops, and here it is in regular water. And one of the things I like about HMO, it dissolves very easily. Solubility is very high, so you really don't even have to stir it, but that is dissolved. Even though it's a little turbid, if you drank it, there'd be no precipitate, no sediment at the bottom. But in the right is hydrogen water. And watch what happens when we add HMO to the hydrogen water. It goes to the bottom, looks like normal water, but then it starts bubbling up all of a sudden, sort of this little explosion. It sounds like Alka-Seltzer. So the HMO is interacting with the hydrogen gas in the water. I just thought that was interesting. Gut health benefits from hydrogen water, four main benefits that I've been able to find. One, repairs damaged colonocytes caused by, again, that damaging hydroxyl radical. And colonocytes, of course, is the one cell layer in your colon that protects the interior contents of your colon from reaching your bloodstream. So that is where the leaky gut comes into play. If your colonocytes are opened, if they don't have those tight junctions that we need, then you'll have a leaky gut, and all these damaging things will leak into your bloodstream and go throughout your body. One research from that, exogenous H2, exogenous means it just comes from the outside by drinking water. Also, you can inhale. They have different inhalation of hydrogen gas. Those are a lot more expensive. For example, this hydrogen water bottle was about $200. So the H2 reprograms colonocyte metabolism by regulating the H2 gut microbiota. Short chain fatty acid access and strengthens the intestinal barrier by modulating specific mucosa associated mucolytic bacteria. Secondly, it increases butyrate production. By the way, this is a mixture of human and animal studies. So one study found that by increasing that hydrogen increases the abundance of butyrate producing microorganisms. Pretty straightforward there. Increases bifidobacterium levels. I don't know anyone that doesn't want more bifido. If you've ever done any gut testing, it can be a difficult bacteria to try to increase in your gut. And this study found that the relative abundance of bifidobacterium genus increased in the AEW, that's the alkaline electrolyzed water. In other words, that's hydrogen water, another name for it, and showed a significant increase after the test compared to beforehand. Among bifidobacterium, the closest relatives were B. longum and B. adolescentis, with both showing significant increases. So that's really great to see, and that is a human study, so that's good. And it also alleviates colitis and constipation. And the title of the article pretty much summarizes hydrogen-rich water alleviates constipation by attenuating oxidative stress. There it is, attenuating oxidative stress. So the hydrogen gas is eliminating that rusty parts of our body that is causing all of the damage. So just by way of summarizing, repairs damaged colonocytes caused by the hydroxyl radical, increases butyrate, which is that some call the king of the short chain fatty acids, increases bifidobacterium levels, which for me, I notice my asthma goes away completely if I have higher bifido, and it is I get some slight asthma if the bifido is lower, and then alleviates colitis and constipation in animal models. So I hope that's informative.